Open your fridge. Go on, take a look. A carton of milk, some cheese, maybe that leftover pizza you told yourself you'd eat yesterday. None of it is old. None of it has expired. Your fridge runs at a steady 38 degrees. You have laws regulating food safety. You have a government agency that recalls lettuce when 5 people get sick. Now imagine none of that exists. Not the fridge, not the laws, not the expiration dates. Imagine you open your fridge and find a piece of meat you killed 3 weeks ago, buried in the ground, dug up this morning, crawling with maggots, dripping black fluid. It smells so bad your stomach turns inside out. And you eat it, because if you do not, you starve. This is not a hypothetical. This is what your ancestors ate for millions of years. And if you ate what they ate sitting here in your kitchen today, you would get sick. You might die. Your body, for all its sophistication, is softer than theirs. Modern humans are terrified of rotten food. We throw away things that are 2 days past their date. We smell yogurt and hesitate. We cut mold off bread, hoping the rest is safe. Ancient humans did the opposite. They chased rot. When a hunter killed an animal, they could not eat the whole thing at once, so they buried it, stashed it in caves, hid it in cold streams for days, for weeks, sometimes for months. By the time they came back, the meat was crawling with maggots, reeking of death. They ate it anyway. Some researchers think they preferred it that way. Rotting meat is softer, easier to chew. Bacteria break down the proteins and fats ahead of time. Your body absorbs it faster. The bacteria even produce B vitamins your body needs. That taste you have for cheese, for yogurt, for sourdough and beer and pickles, that is controlled rot. Your ancestors just skipped the control part. If you ate rotting meat today, you would probably get food poisoning. Your stomach is not adapted to that bacterial load. You have never had to be, but for them, it was dinner. It had been dinner for 1,000,000 years. I want to pause on the bone marrow for a second, because this is the part people do not fully get. When we think of ancient humans eating meat, we picture a hunt, a kill, fresh meat over a fire. The reality is uglier. Most of the time, they did not get the fresh meat. The predator got it first. They got whatever was left, and what was left was bone. Thick, heavy, greasy bone that took work to crack open. That is why your teeth are not as strong as theirs. That is why your jaw muscles are smaller. You have not needed to bite through a thigh bone in 10,000 years. Your ancestors ate bone marrow too. Not cooked, not roasted, raw. After a predator killed an animal and ate the soft parts, and after the hyenas came and crunched through the ribs, what was left were the thick leg bones, bones too dense even for hyena jaws. Your ancestors would creep up to that stripped carcass, grab those bones, and smash them open with rocks. Inside was marrow, gray, slick, dripping fat. They scooped it out with their fingers. This was not a desperate last resort. This was their signature meal. No other animal on the savannah could get to it. They had hands. That was their advantage. Raw marrow is fatty and calorie-dense. For a scavenger living on scraps, it was the best thing on the menu. If you ate raw bone marrow from a wild animal today, you risk brucellosis, tuberculosis, a dozen other bacterial infections your immune system no longer knows how to fight. Your ancestors' marrow was a superfood. Yours would be a biohazard. Plants were just as dangerous. You think you know which plants are safe because you buy vegetables from a supermarket. Somebody else did the work of figuring out what is edible. Ancient humans did not have that luxury. They had to figure it out from scratch, and the way they figured it out was by dying. Every edible plant in the world was discovered because someone ate the wrong one first. The wild version of potatoes contains solanine, a toxin that causes vomiting, hallucinations, and paralysis. Ancient humans ate it anyway. Some died. The survivors learned to process it, soak it, cook it, ferment it, grind it into flour, and wash it with water for hours before it became safe. Cassava contains cyanide. Yes, cyanide, the stuff used in chemical warfare. Wild cassava, if eaten raw, releases cyanide into your body. Ancient humans figured out that if you peel it, grate it, soak it for days, then cook it thoroughly, it becomes edible. One mistake, and you stopped breathing. If you walked into a forest today and ate what your ancestors ate, you would probably poison yourself within a week. Your body has lost the ancient knowledge. You rely on agriculture and supermarkets to filter out the toxins. You do not even realize it. And that is just the plants. They also ate insects, grubs, beetles, termites, fat white larvae the size of your thumb. They crunched like shrimp. For your deep ancestors, insects were not a last resort. They were dinner. Protein, fat, and minerals packed into a squirming mouthful. You would gag, they would smile. Ancient humans also drank blood, not as a ritual, as hydration. When they killed an animal, they did not just eat the meat, they drank the blood, fresh, warm, straight from the carcass. Blood contains iron, salt, and water. In dry seasons, when water was scarce, blood kept them alive. Try drinking a glass of fresh animal blood today. Your body will reject it. You will vomit. Your digestive system is no longer equipped. But for them, it was Gatorade. Here is the one that gets me, personally. Ancient humans ate brains. Raw animal brains. They cracked open a skull, scooped out the gray matter, and ate it on the spot. Brains are rich in fat and nutrients. A single skull could feed a small family for a day. The problem is, brains can carry prions, misfolded proteins that cause fatal neurodegenerative diseases. Kuru, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. There is no cure. There is no treatment. The only way to get it is by eating infected brain tissue. Ancient humans ate brains for hundreds of thousands of years. They must have known the risk. They must have watched people in their tribe fall sick, lose control of their bodies, and die. But they ate them anyway. Because when you are starving, you do not think about prions. You think about the meal in front of you. And this is the thing, they were not stupid. They knew the meat was rotten. They knew the tubers were toxic. They knew the blood was risky. But they also knew that not eating meant guaranteed death. So their bodies adapted. Stomachs evolved to handle bacterial loads that would send a modern human to the hospital. Immune systems learned to fight pathogens we have forgotten about. Your body, sitting in your climate-controlled apartment, eating food that was grown 2,000 miles away and shipped to your door, has lost that tolerance. You could not survive a week on their diet. That is not weakness, that is progress. Your body is optimized for a world where food is safe. That is a luxury they fought for. They ate the rotten meat, the toxic tubers, the raw brains. They survived, and because they survived, you do not have to. But next time you open your fridge and hesitate over a yogurt that expired 3 days ago, remember this. Your ancestors would have called that yogurt a delicacy. They would have fought you for it, and they would have been genuinely confused about why you were throwing away perfectly good food.